right, so welcome everyone. My name is Ashlyn Gaughan. I'm one of the admissions counselors in the UCCS Office of Admissions. I was also an out-of-state student myself, so happy to talk with you all and answer some questions about being an out-of-state student. I'm going to hand it over to Stephen and Chloe, who are also going to introduce themselves.
Sure. Thank you, Ashlyn. Hi, everyone. My name is Stephen Cucciara, and I serve as the Director of Student Engagement. So in my position, I oversee our Department of Student Life, which includes all the co-curricular programming, activities, and points of engagement at UCCS, clubs and organizations, sororities and fraternities, leadership programs, student activities, large-scale organizations like student government, student media, and a variety of other aspects of campus life. In my role also within our department, our responsibility is to program for all students. So not just residential and commuter students, but also out-of-state students as well. So I'm excited to share with everyone a little bit of what we in student life have to offer and what UCCS has to offer for our out-of-state student population.
Hi, everyone. I'm Chloe. I'm an out-of-state student. I'm from Arkansas, and I'm a junior here at UCCS. I'm in the nursing program. So I don't have a big, long list of professional experience at UCCS, but I do have student experience. So I'm excited to share that with you guys.
Awesome. So Stephen, if you want to just kick it off and tell us a little bit about student life at UCCS, that would be awesome.
Sure. I think the first thing to remember is that entering college is a process, right? So what we try to do in student life is we try to provide students with highly engaging, dynamic, accessible, student-led experiences where you'll get connected to students, faculty, staff, and find a sense of belonging, but also a sense of mattering here at UCCS. And we do that through our various realms of engagement. As I mentioned before, student organizations, clubs, leadership programs, activities. Now, if you would choose to come to UCCS, from the moment you set foot on campus, what I can promise you is that you will have a plethora of opportunities to get engaged in a variety of different ways. As a first-year student, and many other campuses host something like this, we host a new student week program called Clyde's Kickoff. It's a week before classes actually start, where all first-year students can come to campus, start their first-year seminar, but also they'll get a variety of different resources, get connected to a variety of different resources, really learn about the campus culture, campus community, and partake in some of our largest traditions. We take an annual class photo in giant UCCS letters. We have a drone fly over and take the class photo. We do some really great engaging events, both on campus and off campus. And again, that week is dedicated just for first year students. So as a first year student coming in, you get to start your own lay of the land, find your classes, get connected with folks living on campus, commuter students, and really find out what UCCS student life is really like. Beyond that, we continue with a variety of different programs. And with Clyde's Kickoff, it's about connecting first-year students to different resources and areas across campus. With other programs, so the first week of classes, by that time, you're probably feeling a little disoriented. That's why we call it Disorientation Week. So we host a variety of programs and events that week as well. And that's the large all-student welcome week. So Clyde's Kickoff, you get to meet other first-year students. Disorientation Week, you'll get to meet more first-year students and second, third, fourth-year students, commuter students, students that live in the resident halls, out-of-state students, in-state students, post-traditional students, traditional students, you name it, we have them here at UCCS. So that's the purpose of Disorientation Week. In the fall, too, within that third week, second week of classes, we host an annual student club fair where you'll have an opportunity to really get to know our student organization population, which is really important. We have over 150 student clubs and organizations. If at some point we don't have something that you want to start, you can start it at any point during your college career, which is great. You only need 3 other students aside from yourself. That's a great way to really establish community. We do actually have a few out-of-state student clubs that have started over the years. They get together, they go out, they explore the Colorado Springs community, they host events for other out-of-state students on campus as well. I want to share with you some really good resources for out-of-state students. So the Department of Student Life is located in the University Center. We have a whole lounge dedicated for students. It's known as the campus living room. We find that a lot of out-of-state students spend their time in the Student Life Lounge. We have Clyde's Cupboard, our food pantry there. We have a variety of different computers, services, involvement opportunity, community service, activities, and really just opportunities to connect with staff to see what's going on campus, which is really great as an out-of-state student coming to UCCS. What we also do, and this is something you may find, is that if you decide to stay in and around UCCS during the Labor Day weekend, we actually have an extended holiday weekend that weekend. Not only does UCCS have Labor Day off, which is usually a Monday, but then that next Tuesday, the university is open, but there are no classes held. So one of the things Student Life does is we host an event that Saturday of Labor Day weekend. We call it a Taste of Colorado. We take students whitewater rafting. We take them to a natural hot springs, and then we feed you plenty of food as well. The whole goal of that is to give you all, as an out-of-state student, an opportunity to really learn and see what Colorado is really like. It'll be an opportunity to explore. And that's just not the only program we host during that weekend. We work with the Campus Recreation Center. They'll do a variety of hikes and excursions that weekend. Residence Life and Housing will host a variety of events like barbecues on campus, trips off campus. So we make sure that there is plenty going on for out-of-state students that may wind up staying during extended weekends like that. Speaking of weekends, that's another thing I'll say and just conclude with some of the resources for out-of-state students. If you're choosing to live on campus or you're living close by the university, every single weekend, our department is hosting something on campus. So we host a whole weekend program schedule just for students. And it doesn't matter if you live in the resident halls or live off campus, there's something going on every single weekend. That way, if you are living on campus, you don't have to feel like, there's nothing to do. Why did I come from out of state? I could be back home with friends from high school and all. No, we make sure that you're constantly engaged, that there's always something going on, and that we find ways to connect you with what you're interested in.
Awesome. A lot of great information there, Stephen. I also want to get perspective from Chloe as a current student. How would you kind of characterize student life? What brought you out here? What do you like to do kind of in the area?
Okay, cool. I think Stephen really hit on that there's like always something to do on campus. So it's just like choosing to get involved. And when you're coming from out of state, it's like a hump, like he said, like it's a process moving into college. So you just have to choose to get involved. And a lot of the things and like best memories from college are definitely through UCCS. I made friends really quickly. I didn't know anyone when I came out here. And I was actually living by myself in like a single man dorm room. So I was like, great, I'm not going to make any friends. And then Clyde's kickoff week, I like met one of my best friends who's been my best friend throughout college. So you guys will not be lonely, that's for sure, and you'll never be bored. And so that's nice. But I would just say that it's very active, and I like that. I think that's what draws people to Colorado is you want to be outside, you want to be doing something, building community, and Colorado Springs is a really great place to do that. So I think UCCS really does a good job in promoting community and for us to just always have something to do and to not feel like we're alone, because it is kind of scary moving from out of state. So I think active is the best way to describe it. And then I chose UCCS. It never gets easier to say. Just because I like Colorado Springs a lot. It's kind of the mix in between a big city and a town. It's not super overwhelming. I'm from Arkansas, so I'm not from a big city. So it wasn't super overwhelming moving here, and it's easy to get around places. there's like a cool downtown scene. We have some cool places like Manitou around Colorado Springs where there's like fun stuff to do. And then you're also close to the mountains if you like skiing or mountain biking or climbing. So definitely like a great spot to be in Colorado to have access to everything to do. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Chloe. So a question that I have that some people might be wondering is, what's the best way to get involved on campus?
Sure. Chloe, if you're okay, I can start and then maybe you can take it away from there. There are a few ways to do this. So what I would say is as a first year student coming in, the first thing you want to do is go to all the Clyde's kickoff events. Like I said earlier, every event has a specific design function for you. So for example, if you go to the ice cream social, that event is designed to help build community amongst the residential student population, meaning the students that live on campus. If you go to Playfair, that brings the entire first year student class together to build community amongst the first year student class. That's also where you take your class photo, which is really fun. If you decide to go to something like Premiere Night is designed to introduce students to resources, opportunities of involvement, and ways to build community within the university center. RecFest, likewise with the campus recreation and wellness center. So right off the bat, I would say go to as many Clyde's kickoff events as possible. Take a roommate, take a friend, and I promise you, you'll have the time of your life. That's what Clyde's kickoff is all about. Second way, again, is attending events like Club Fair. You definitely want to get connected to student clubs and organizations. So in doing so, those are already pre-established communities that are built and that are formed by students. So by joining, let's say, 2 clubs your first semester, by that point, you will have met within those 2 clubs anywhere from 15 to 30 students alone, because our clubs are rather large. So that's a perfect opportunity to get involved right off the bat. Third thing to do is if you're looking at other universities and really want to see what we have available, you can do that now as a prospective student. We have a program called Mountain Lion Connect. Mountain Lion Connect is our online student engagement platform that can connect you right now to clubs and organizations, our campus event calendar, different academic departments, faculty, staff. We're all on Mountain Lion Connect. To access it, you'll just go to the UCCS homepage, where uccs.edu. You'll see a drop-down list in the upper right-hand corner, and you'll search for an option called Mountain Lion Connect. Click on that, you'll get to see all the different clubs and organizations listed for you. There really is something for everyone. And if there isn't something in student life, we'll help you form that. So those are my 3 tips of advice for the best ways of getting involved. Clyde's Kickoff, Club Fair, and checking out what's on Mountain Lion Connect, because that'll give you a direct connection even before you come to campus for Clyde's Kickoff with our student organizations.
You mentioned Playfair. That was like one of my favorite things like ever. It's actually like you go into it and you're like, this is gonna be so cheesy because you're like just graduated high school and you think you're like too cool for everything. And then you do Playfair and it's literally like so much fun. And then you're just like watching like a bunch of 18-year-olds just like giggle and run around holding hands. And it's really a good time. So that was definitely getting involved in Clyde's Kickoff Week. You'll never be confused on how to get involved because it's advertised everywhere. So like I got flyers when I moved in. It was posted on like the dorm room boards, the RAs, you have a meeting with your RAs and they communicate all of that. Or if you're not living on campus, it's on the websites, it's on Mountain Lion Connect. So it's really easy to access and see what's going on. And then I guess the second step is just like making yourself go. Like don't sit in your dorm room. I remember I almost didn't go to Playfair because I was so nervous about meeting people. And so I was like, maybe I'll just like sit in my dorm room and eat this like cup of mac and cheese. But I was like, no, I'm gonna go to Playfair. And like I said, that's how I met like one of my really good friends. So just go and try to get involved and then it won't be so hard after that.
Yeah, awesome. I'll throw in there. I don't think it was called Playfair when I did it in 2013. It was maybe called something else, but that was where everyone, all the new freshmen got together and we had to link arms. We had to run around the room and find people with like similarities. And then you ended up making this big chain. And they challenged us to go to lunch with the chain that we made. And that's how I made my first friends my first semester as a freshman at UCCS. So that was really nice. And I wasn't living on campus at the time, so it helped get me connected to the university and helped me know about other events and everything. So definitely go to those events in the beginning, I would recommend. Let's see, what are some other questions that students probably have? How did you get oriented to Colorado Springs as a place being from out of state? Or in Stephen, how would you recommend students kind of get oriented to not just UCCS, but to their new hometown, so to speak?
I'll let Chloe take this one, and then I'll chime in later.
Once you start going to class, you have to remember not everyone is from out of state. So just talking to your classmates is a great way to get oriented, like, hey, what's some good places to eat? Like, what are some fun things to do on the weekends? I kind of like kick myself because I didn't do a great job of that freshman year. And now that I'm a junior and I've lived here for a while, I'm like, there's so much to do. Colorado Springs is a lot like UCCS, and there's like a lot of things in the community that are free, which is really nice. Like this Friday, I'm going to a free salsa class like downtown. Like that's super fun and like a cool way to just do new things and meet new people. And so I just think that talking to people who lived here and then just go out and explore, like look up 10 best things to do in Colorado Springs and go do them and you'll figure out what you really like. And then there's also some great like hiking trails really close to UCCS. So that's a great way also to just get outside and get oriented to Colorado Springs.
Well, I think that's really great advice. So I'll start with on-campus exploring Colorado Springs. One of the first year seminars courses is called Histories, Mysteries, and Springs Necessities. It is taught by yours truly. We use that first year seminar to go out into the Colorado Springs community and learn about the different sites of Colorado Springs. It's a huge city, but like Chloe said, it feels like a small city. So there are different pockets. In our class, we take students to explore sports in Colorado Springs. We take students out to explore the park system in Colorado Springs. So if you are interested and wind up coming to UCCS and think, well, I need to pick a first year student seminar, Histories, Mysteries, and Springs Necessities, you get the first 3.5 months with me as your instructor. Secondly, beyond first year student seminars, I would say learn the public transportation system. I'm not originally from Colorado. I grew up in and around the New York City tri-state area. What I will tell you is I am used to public transportation. I love public transportation. One of the first things I did was learn how to use the bus. You don't need to use the Colorado Springs Metro bus system because everything is drivable and parking is incredibly easy here, but it's a great way to learn the city. As a student, you can purchase a bus pass here at the University Center for a very minimal amount of money. And that bus pass is good for the entire semester. And you'll be able to navigate across all of Colorado Springs and learn what there is in the city. Other things, Chloe mentioned the trail system. If you like hiking, it's great. What I can share with you is that there are many trails in Colorado Springs and they all connect to one another. So depending on if you're living off campus, you can find a trail and it'll probably connect to one of the main trails in the Springs, which is called the Pikes Peak Greenway Trail or the Santa Fe Trail. From campus, we have trails on campus. If you've ever been to UCCS, we're situated on a bluff or a giant hill. We have tons of hiking trails all around us. We have tons of biking trails. There's a beautiful park no more than 10 minutes away from the university called Garden of the Gods Park. It's a city park and it is fantastic. It's beautiful rock formations. Manitou Springs is about 20 minutes away. It's a small city just located west of Colorado Springs. It has some great stores, shops, downtown shopping areas, beautiful city. And that city is really at the base of Pikes Peak, which is the tallest mountain in the Front Range. There are some other great opportunities there, like the Incline, which is an old cog railway that used to go up up Pikes Peak, and you can climb that. There's also a trail that can take you up to the top of Pikes Peak, which is 14,000 plus feet. Be aware, the altitude thing is real. You may not notice it even at where we're at here in Colorado Springs, but I've lived here for almost 12 years, and I still get winded going upstairs. So that is a real thing, folks. So I would say looking at what events are out in the community. During the holiday season, the city of Colorado Springs hosts an outdoor ice skating rink in their downtown area. Great opportunity to get out of the resident hall, go downtown, and just skate around with some friends. You can go to the different shops in downtown Colorado Springs as well. We have a variety of concert halls, concert venues. We're known as Olympic City, USA. So the Olympic Museum is located here in Colorado Springs. There truly is an endless amount of things you can do and explore. The art scene is fantastic in Colorado Springs. So there are a variety of great things that you can do. And a lot of times the Department of Student Life partners with the city of Colorado Springs, or we're doing something in the downtown area. We'll host an excursion. We'll take you to Rockies games, whitewater rafting, Denver Nuggets games, Colorado Avalanche. We'll take you ice skating downtown. We'll go we'll go to a variety of things. So again, there are opportunities there. Take advantage of them. I would say that it's up to you. If you want to have a vehicle on campus, you can, but you can definitely navigate, and there's a lot within walking or biking distance of the university. And I would say for the most part, the city of Colorado Springs is very bike friendly.
And the other thing I'll plug along with that is to not just know Colorado Springs, but to get to know Colorado and do some new things in our Soul Center, which is part of the rec center. Which is the Student Outdoor Learning Experience Center. They put on excursions to go whitewater rafting, to try skiing, to go surfing the sand dunes. I did the ski and soak trip one time and got to go to a local, well, I say local, like an hour and a half away, ski resort and ski for the day and go to the hot springs. And it was all like packaged really affordably for students. So that's kind of the whole idea, is you get to go out there and try stuff. Or if you're an experienced skier, you can just go for a nice amount of money and not be pockets empty going skiing. So lots of fun things you can do that way. But yeah, kind of to end it, I'll just say, is there anything else that you guys think that out-of-state students should know, or any last bits of advice?
Chloe, do you want to go first?
Sure. I guess I'm glad that you mentioned the Soul Center. I went rappelling my freshman year for $20. I went for a whole day. I was like, I would not be doing this in Arkansas. So that was kind of a cool flex. But there's definitely a lot of different communities on campus that come together and make UCCS. So Soul, the rec center, there's a lot of sports you can play. You don't have to be in a club sport to play a sport. You don't have to, be getting a scholarship here to go form a volleyball team and go play with your friends. So just doing that kind of stuff, and then just getting plugged into the Student Life Center, and just making sure that you are making an effort to be involved, because you have to make very minimal effort to be involved, because UCCS is doing most of it for you. So I just definitely think that UCCS has been a great place for me, and it definitely has felt like home for the past 3 years. So
I would agree with Chloe. I think the important thing is that coming from out of state, I get it. It can be challenging. It can be intimidating. one of the first things to do is make sure you connect with your roommate or you make a friend of some sort. It could be an in-state student, out-of-state student, doesn't matter. Connect up with someone, because at that point, then you'll actually have someone to go to different events and programs with. But Chloe's right. It's really important to make the effort. We host a lot of different activities. Clyde's kickoff is going to be your start of it. So my advice is to make the most of it. Attend as much as you can, explore things. If you don't like it, you can leave. You don't have to stay at the event. You never know what you're going to do. Chloe said she wasn't going to go to Playfair. Then she found out how great Playfair is, and she wound up meeting one of her really close friends. So that's one of the things that can come out of attending different events. Explore the city. Don't be afraid to question different aspects of the university, meaning you may come in with one major and you might decide you want to change. Explore the colleges that we have at the university. It's really important, because at that point, you're looking at the variety of academic opportunities that are there. If you have an opportunity, study abroad. If you have an opportunity to do a student exchange, do that as well. But if you're really looking at, well, do I want to come to Colorado Springs? Truly one of the best places you could come to. 20 minutes from the mountains, an hour south of Denver, major sporting events just an hour away, a vibrant downtown life, a vibrant campus life. I promise you, if you come to UCCS, you're making a great choice, and you will get connected right from the start. And we hope to see you here.
Awesome. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you, Chloe. This is where we're going to end it. If anybody has any questions about anything at all, you can always reach out to the admissions office. We're just go@uccs.edu. Very, very simple email. You can also go on to our website and reach out to any of the offices as an admitted student. But yeah, thank you all for coming.
Take care, all.